flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Tuesday, May 16, 2023, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Monday, May 15, 2023 was read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions, messages from the Assembly. Secretary will read.
Senator Breslin moves to discharge from the Committee on Investigation and Government Operations. Assembly Bill number 1628 is substituted for the identical Senate Bill 2694. Third reading count is 766.
Substitution so ordered. Messages from the Governor. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and reports from state officers. Motions and resolutions. Senator Gianaris.
Good afternoon, Madam President. I'm going to ask our colleagues in the corner if they could just give our guest a moment of breathing room, because I'd like you to recognize Leader Stewart Cousins for an important introduction today.
Leader Stewart Cousins for an introduction, and I would ask all my colleagues to take their seats.
Thank you so much, Madam President. And there is a lot of commotion because we are honored to have a very special guest in our chamber. We are welcoming Tennessee Representative Justin Pearson to the New York State Senate today. Okay, so I can tell by the majority of people standing up, you all know who he is, but let me make sure to introduce him properly should some people have missed why we are so happy to welcome this young man. In the beginning of April, we witnessed what was no less than an assault and a new front line in the battle for the future of American democracy, all taking place in the Tennessee State Legislature when ultimately 2 young representatives were removed from their chamber for fighting for common sense gun safety, all with the goal of better representing and representing and protecting the people of Tennessee. We all know that state legislatures are often the last line of defense and play an even growing and more critical role than ever in this country. Representative Pearson is here today in our state capitol, not talking about that, but talking about, yes, another crucial issue that he's been engaged in, and that has been a focus for our conference as well. He was here talking about climate change. We've spent far too long waiting for our federal government to take the drastic action that is necessary to protect the most vital resource. We're glad, however, that you're here, that you were able to see the Assembly pass the climate bill as we passed it here. And we're also happy to see our counterparts join us in taking the much needed steps. And we are certainly hopeful that we can continue to work together to do all we can to protect our environment. We are inspired, encouraged, heartened, and excited by your tenacity and your bravery. And I'm happy that a representative such as yourself has been thrust into the national spotlight. And I think we are all excited to see what you will be doing next. And I can only thank you again for not only gracing our chambers, but reigniting, for those of us who might have let that flame die, the understanding that the next generation is well prepared and on your shoulders and with your continued bravery, courage, and tenacity, we will be the America that we know made this dream come true. Thank you so very, very much for being here. Thank you.
To our guest, Representative Justin Pearson, thank you for joining us today on behalf of all of the Senate. Please enjoy the cordialities of the House. We welcome you, and we couldn't be more pleased you're here. Thank you again. Senator Gianaris.
Madam President, can we now move to previously adopted Resolution 929 by Senator Sepulveda? Read that resolution's title and recognize Senator Sepulveda, who is here somewhere. There he is. Okay.
The Secretary will read.
Senate Resolution 929 by Senator Sepulveda, commemorating the first visit of a Dominican Senate President to the New York State Senate, Honorable Eduardo Estrella, and recognize the importance of the relationship between the Dominican Republic and New York State.
Senator Sepulveda on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President, for allowing me to present this resolution. It is with great pride and honor that I present to you our counterparts in the Dominican Republic. Today we have the President or the leader of the Senate in the Dominican Republic. We have our friend, Senator Eduardo Estrella. We have the person who is responsible for a lot of the exchanges that we're doing. He planted the seed and working with the Dominican government and our Senate, my good friend, Senator Alexis Victoria Jeb. We have Senator Dionis Sanchez Carrasco. We have Senator Carlos Manuel Gomez. We have Senator Lenin Valdez Lopez, Senator Ramon Pimentel Gomez, Senator Jose del Castillo Savignon. We have person in charge of international relations for the Senate, Carlos Castro, and of course someone who's been here before and we recognize her, and that is the Ambassador to the United States of the Dominican Republic, Ambassador Sonia Guzman. We have worked together over the last year to do a lot of exchange programs with the Dominican government and more specifically with the Dominican Senate. Every person here has worked directly with me to make sure that we create programs, exchange programs, and delegation trips to the Dominican Republic, which we will be inviting all of you to attend probably in August. So you can meet the elected officials over there and learn about the culture and the history of the Dominican Republic. To me, it's a great honor, myself being a Dominican citizen. I was born of Puerto Rican descent, but I had the honor and privilege of being granted citizenship by decree by the President of the Dominican Republic, and the people that are standing there had a lot to do with me getting that honor. We're going to be here, they're going to be here for the next few days. They came here to bless us with their presence here in the New York State Senate, and I welcome them here to our state. And let's just give me a point of privilege. Tengo orgullo hoy de estar aquí con varios oficiales electos del Senado, del Senado Dominicano, y específicamente el presidente del Senado, Eduardo Estrella, la embajadora de la República Dominicana, Guzmán, y varios otros senadores. Perdona que no puedo mencionar nombres porque estamos cortos en tiempo, pero son 7 senadores dominicanos de la República que vinieron aquí a demostrar su presencia y estamos hoy muy orgullosos de tenerlos aquí. Vamos a darle todas las cortesías desde el Senado y quiero invitarlos a todos ustedes a que participen en el futuro de delegaciones que vamos a hacer con la República Dominicana y los oficiales electos del Estado de Nueva York. Madam Leader, please offer their welcome and thank you for allowing me to present this resolution.
Thank you, Senator Sepulveda. Senator Kennedy on the resolution.
Thank you very much, Madam President. First of all, I want to welcome our guests, these extraordinary leaders from the Dominican Republic. I want to thank our colleague, Senator Sepulveda, for bringing these leaders here to the Senate chamber today. I say bienvenidos. Estudié español en la escuela muchos años en El Paso, pero hablo un poquito español, pero trato. But in English, I welcome you 1,000 times over. We you are gracing us with your presence. We appreciate your leadership, and we look forward to our continued relationship between the great country of the Dominican Republic and the great state of New York and the United States. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Senator Comrie on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to rise to welcome the delegation from Santo Domingo. I had the honor of traveling with Senator Sepulveda to the Dominican Republic. Sorry, I said to the Dominican Republic. Sorry, I said Santo Domingo earlier. Busy day. And I had the opportunity to travel to the Dominican Republic, and you were gracious enough to let us into your chambers. We had extensive conversations about how we could share resources and create opportunities between our two countries. You shared with us how your Senate works and how we were able to discuss how our Senate works vis-a-vis yours. I'm glad that you're here today to see us in action, to see what we're doing. I look forward to sharing other opportunities with you as we continue to work to ensure that the Dominican Republic can be a more active trade partner with us in the state, utilizing our resources. You've already been sending us your nurses, and your manufacturing facilities have increased tenfold in their ability. We were able to visit your manufacturing facilities, visit some of your cultural institutions, and talk to your leaders on the national, local, and federal levels. I truly believe that we as a state need to build and continue to expand our opportunities to have a positive relationship with all of you. I enjoyed having a little time to spend with you today. The Ambassador and the President of the Senate is here. I look forward to continuing to work with you as we expand the opportunities between our state and your great nation. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Comrie. Senator Bailey on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. Bienvenidos. Es un placer para estar aquí, aquí contigo. It is really a pleasure to be here with you all. And I'm a state senator in the Bronx, in Mount Vernon, Ciudad de Mount Vernon, in Westchester County. And hay muchos dominicanos in el borough de Bronx. And the Dominican population is growing rapidly. It is one of the fastest growing populations, and as we've mentioned on the floor many times, the Dominican community has made and will continue to make great contributions to not just the borough and not just the city of Mount Vernon, but the entire great state of New York, as Senators Kennedy, Sepulveda, and Comrie have all mentioned. I'm looking forward to continue to have a working relationship with you as we continue to try to find that working relationship to ensure that we continue to understand that somos lo mismo, no? Right? We all the same. And as it would be said in the Dominican Republic, de lo mío. Welcome.
To our guests, to our senators, ambassador, and all of our guests, we welcome you on behalf of the Senate. We extend to you the privileges and courtesies of the House. Please rise and be recognized. The resolution was previously adopted on the 9th of May. Senator Gianaris.
Can we now move on to previously adopted resolution 1031 by Senator Ryan? Read its title and recognize Senator Ryan.
The Secretary will read.
Senate Resolution 1031 by Senator Ryan, memorializing Governor Kathy Hochul to declare May 2023 as Small Business Month in the state of New York.
Senator Ryan on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. As we know, small businesses are the backbone of our economy. More than 96% of the businesses in New York State and half the state's workforce work in small businesses. When they are thriving, New York State is thriving.